welcome to Reads and Threads. My name's Kate. Hello if you're new here. Welcome back if you're joining us again. Today I thought we would do a little bit of a book haul. So this is going to be books that I purchased throughout July. One of the roles that we did in my game, my TBR game for July, was a self-care activity. So we landed on the elves and that was to take us out on our own little self-care fun adventure. So it can be anything. I could go read in a cafe, I could go shopping. In the end, I went shopping. It wasn't a hard stretch. There was a really cool author market on for Festival, which is a festival that the libraries put on for people to try things for the first time, and it runs from July 1st to 31st, and it's really good. There's free activities at all the libraries around the state. So it was a lot of fun. Playford Library put on the author showcase, and so my friend and I drove up and looked around at all the stores, had a donut, and I spent some money, which isn't hard for me to do. I thought I'd show you a bit of footage from the day. We also went to Harry Harthog, which is an independent bookstore at Burnside, so I do have some footage that I will pop in as well. And then went off on another shopping adventure day with another one of my friends for her birthday. We started off by going to a secondhand and new book sale that was put on by the CWA, and then we headed up to Edinburgh, which is on the other side of town, to First Chapter Bookshop, which is an indie romance bookshop that we really wanted to check out and have been wanting to go to for a while. So I did get something from both of those places. We then headed into the city and checked out Dimmicks and QBD in the city as well, and again bought something from both of those as well. So I'm going to go through everything that we bought. It was a lot of fun spending time with my friends, hanging out and just looking around bookshops, and I will link down below all of the bookshops that we did go to so you can check them out. Like I said in the intro, first off, we did the self-care activity. I'm going to pop in the B-roll now of the day, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what we bought.
Come a little closer, I want to dance with you. Everything's moving slower, I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. You set my wheels in motion, I'm going crazy for you. Eyes blue like the ocean, I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know, and I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
I ended up buying 3 books at the showcase. The first one I picked up was by a Melanie Seller, and that is Voice of Power. This one is the first in a series. I'm really eager to get to this one at some stage. All of the books that I will go through today I have added into my game, so they will definitely hopefully come up at some point. This one, she is, I think, a South Australian author. Her books are available via Amazon. I did look that up. These ones she has signed for me, so that's really nice. And like I said, this is the first in a series, so I think you can definitely get these if you are interested in checking them out. So this one says, in Elena's world, words have power over life and death, but none more so than hers. As the daughter of shopkeepers, Elena has always known that the mysteries of reading and writing were closed to her. Only the mage-born can risk harnessing the power unleashed from putting pen to paper, until Elena discovers an impossible new ability and joins the elite ranks of the mages. But with the kingdom at war, the authorities can't agree if Elena is an asset or a threat they need to eliminate. Thrust into an unknown world of the Royal Academy without friends or experiences, Elena will need all of her wit, strength, and new power to carve a place for herself. Except as the attacks become more personal, wits and strength won't be enough. Elena will have to turn to new friends and an enigmatic prince to unlock the mysterious potential of her words and survive her first year as a trainee mage. And I just thought it sounded super cool. I love the cover. And I'm really eager to check out a new author, so hoping that one comes up at some point. I then came across another lady who was selling special edition books, and you know me, if there is a special edition, I can't resist. So the first one I picked up was this paperback, Whispers of the Dragon's Dawn, and this is by Liliana Rose, and it's got really cool dragon scale sprayed pages, and I just thought, so cute. This actually, I think, has 2 books in it. So these are the first 2 of a Dragon Shifter series that I'm hoping will be good. And it says on the back of this one, I never expected to bond with someone, let alone a Dragon Shifter. Roran is everything my rational mind tells me to fear. Powerful, dangerous, a creature of ancient magic and primal instincts. But his touch ignites a fire within me, a longing I can't deny, a bond that defies the laws of nature and the boundaries of our separate worlds. I'm caught in a web of ancient prophecy and clan rivalries, which I don't understand. Trapped in a cavern with only the dragon eggs for company, I must face my fears, embrace the unknown, and fight for a future I never dared to dream of. Because even in the darkness of nights, a dragon's love can ignite a dawn. So I'm really hoping that this is good. I really liked the edition and how much effort she'd gone to. Hopefully it'll be a really good read. I also picked up from the same author, Wolves and Blood. Again, this one is a special edition omnibus of a series. I think this series has 3 books in it. We've got Shadow Wolf, Marked Wolf, and Rogue Wolf. So these ones are wolf shifters. And all this one says on the back is, he tasted of danger and desire, a forbidden temptation she couldn't resist. We have really pretty sprayed edges, and I couldn't leave it sitting there. It was the only one she had. We do have some very pretty end pages, which were so nice. So it's the same on each side, and then also the naked hardcover is foiled with the same as the paper copy. And then on the back of this one it says, a darkness is brewing, a shift in an alliance is making tensions heightened. The sacred pact between shifters and vampires has existed for centuries, never faltering, never wavering until her. There's something about Tamaska, this unique human, that's sending the supernatural world into chaos. The leader of the vampires wants to capture her. My duty as the shifter is to protect her from this world she has no idea about. But when feelings between Tamaska and me begin to blur and the bond starts to form, I have a choice to make. The pack must be committed to each other in our fight against the vampires. Distractions from the humans are strictly forbidden. So when the battles begin and the choices have to be made, will I fight for my pack or a human I've vowed to protect? So I'm hoping that again will be really good, and I will have found another cool new author that I can try some more stuff from. I'm really hoping they're not too romance. I do prefer more fantasy than romance in my stories, but I'm willing to give it a go, and I just thought I was going to end up with some really cool new books as well. So that was my self-care activity. I had a lot of fun with my friend at the showcase. It was about a 45-ish minute drive for us, and like you see, we did look around Harry Harthog as well, and it was just a really cool day. And yeah, glad that we got to. The next trip that I went on was with one of my other friends. Like I said, we went out for her birthday. I didn't film anything this day. I just wanted to spend the day with her and enjoy myself. We did go to a few new locations. So like I said at the beginning, we went to the CWA, which is the Country Women's Association's book sale, and I did pick up a couple of things. So one of them was a blind date with a book, and I was really happy. I was too excited to wait. I opened it as soon as we got back into the car, and I got Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is an older series now. It has been made into a Netflix TV show, Shadow and Bone, which I have watched, but I have never read any of Leigh Bardugo's stuff. This has actually come up in my August TBR, so I will hopefully be getting to this one this month, and really excited to do so. This is the first in a duology, and I did go through what this one is about. I'm assuming most people will know at the moment, but if you don't, you can check that out in my August video. Okay, next off, I found a couple of others that sounded really interesting. One is actually a non-fiction, which is extremely rare for me, but he is someone that I have grown up listening to their music my entire life. He is a staple in Australian music, and that is John Farnham. His voice is insane. It's immaculate. So if you don't know who he is, I definitely recommend checking out his singing. He has been around for decades, like I said. And this is just his latest biography that's come out that's called The Voice Inside. I am hoping to get to this one at some point. I mostly tend to listen to my biographies just so then I can hear the voice of the person who it's actually about telling me their story. There are some really good photos in this as well, and I just found all the stickers that I bought on my outing that day as well. So now at least I know where they are. They literally all just fell over the floor. I'll pick those up and I'll show you them in a minute. So very eager to get to this one and read a bit more about John Farnham. The other one I picked up that day was Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I've never read a Laini Taylor before, but this one just sounded really interesting. So if you haven't as well, this one says, errand requiring immediate attention. Come. The note was on a vellum, pieced by the talons of the almost crow that delivered it. Karu read the message. He never says please, she sighed, but she gathered up her things. When Brimstone called, she always came. In general, Karu has managed to keep her two lives in balance. On one hand, she's a 17-year-old art student in Prague. On the other, Erangel to a monstrous creature who is the closest thing she has to family. Raised half in our world, half in elsewhere, she has never understood Brimstone's dark work, buying teeth from hunters and murderers, nor how she came into his keeping. She is a secret even to herself, plagued by the sensation that she isn't whole. Now the doors to elsewhere are closing, and Karu must choose between the safety of her human life and the dangers of a war-ravaged world that may hold the answers she's always sought. I just thought it sounded really interesting, and I wanted to give it a go. It was in really good condition as well. This one is secondhand, and it looks like it's barely been used, so really happy to add that one to my collection. At the CWA, they also had a little selection of stickers as well as a first chapter bookshop. And I don't remember which ones I got where, but some of them were just so cute that I couldn't resist. So like the little dragon, and even just the simple read more books. A bit of a sucker for tea and cats, so that worked out. And then there was a couple of cute little ones with crows, which I really liked. And then this just called to me as well. So I'll probably put those in my Kobo case maybe. I've been buying a lot of stickers lately, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with them all, but they're just really cute. I can't resist. Next off, we headed up to First Chapter Bookshop. Now this is an indie romance bookshop, so the books that I was predominantly looking for were fantasy romance books. I'm not a huge romance reader, but I did find some good ones that I am extremely happy to add to my collection. I haven't read them yet, but I'm hoping they will be good. First one that I picked up is Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. So she also wrote When the Moon Hatched, and I haven't tried her as an author yet, but I am really eager to give her a go. This is just a hardback edition. I don't know that there is anything necessarily super special about it. Oh no, I lie. The naked hardcover has a very pretty design on it, which is lovely. And on the inside, it does have a picture, not on the end pages, but just in the first couple of pages. And then just really cool illustrations and stuff. So I just thought that was a really lovely sounding book. Like I said, I haven't given Sarah A. Parker a go yet, but I am super excited too. And this one says, 19 years old, I was plucked from the heart of the bloody massacre that spared nobody else. Small, fragile, an enigma. Now ward to a powerful high master who knows too much and says too little. I lead a simple life, never straying from the confines of the imaginary line I've drawn around the castle grounds. Stay within, never leave. Out there the monsters lurk, inside I'm safe, though at the cost far greater than the blood I drip into a goblet daily. Toxic, unreciprocated love for a man who's utterly unavailable. My saviour, my protector, my almost executioner. I can't help but be enamoured by the arcane man who holds the power to pull my roots from the ground. When ferocious beasts spill across the land and threaten to fray the fabric of my tailored existence, the petals of reality will peel back to reveal an ugly truth. But in the castle puddled with secrets, none are greater than the one I've kept from myself. No tower is tall enough to protect me from the horror that tore my life to shreds. Again, they just sound really cool. The next one I picked up is Empire of Flame and Thorns by Marion Blackwood. I have seen a few other YouTubers read this one and they made it sound really interesting. Again, this is the hardback edition. There's no end papers on these ones, but the naked hardback is also got a really cool design on it. Really happy with that. And then there is just some really cool pictures and then just like a little basic map. So I'm really happy with these. These are the only one thing I will say is these are fairly hard to open. So I'm hoping as I read them they will just give it a bit of a very tightly bound, which hopefully will mean that they won't fall to pieces, but we'll see. In the back of this one it says, a Fey rebel, a ruthless dragon commander, and a deadly trial that will turn their lives upside down. Trapped in the Steely Court by the Forest of Thorns, Selena Hale lives at the mercy of the Dragon Shifters. Her only chance to gain her freedom is by entering the Atonement Trials, a deadly competition that pits Fey magic user against each other. Only 3 people can win, and Selena intends to be one of them. There is only one problem. Draven Riot, the ruthless commander of the Dragon Shifter army, is determined to make her lose. He symbolizes everything that she hates, and if he finds out that she is also a member of the Secret Fey Rebellion, he will not only mess with her chances to win, he will kill her. But the more time she spends with him, the more she finds herself inexplicably drawn to him, and nothing is more dangerous in a lethal trial than a distracted heart, especially one that beats for the enemy. I do like a good trial, so I'm really hoping that this will be something that I really enjoy. The other hardback that I did pick up that day was Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Rorick. I haven't, again, picked up anything by this author, but I do own Lady of Darkness, which is the first in her other series. And again, I just saw this and really just wanted it. And I have heard good things about this. Again, there's nothing on the back of the hardback, but on the naked hardcover we do have the triangle symbols, and then on the back it says, I want everything you have to give, and then I want more. This one, again, really tightly bound hardback, so I'm hoping that will loosen up a little bit as I read. But this one says, a world the gods forgot. Of all the worlds and life they created, the gods favored their children the most. But with their favor came the fear that their legacy would one day become too powerful and overthrow them. Devrim was created, a realm hidden amongst the stars. The gods gave their legacy the best of all the worlds, and then they left. The sworn agreement to never return and never interfere. A historical event. Forced to the life of servitude, the Fae are required to provide for the legacy in more ways than one. Every 5 years, the eligible Fae are gathered for the selection and assigned to serve in one of the 6 kingdoms. To be chosen as the personal source for a kingdom heir is the greatest honour. And for the first time in a millennia, all 6 kingdoms have heirs choosing a source. But their selections could tip the power balance a little too far. A chosen that was never meant to be. Tessalin Azura was as forgotten as the realm, but when she finds herself the personal source of the heir of endings, she winds up serving in the darkest kingdom of them all. And the secrets within the Arius kingdom are meant to be learned and kept, but this is never the life she wanted. Fighting not only the fate thrust upon her, but the temptation to lose herself to desire. Tessa will do anything to escape her new destiny until she starts to realize maybe her world wasn't as forgotten as they thought, and maybe she's the reason why. Again, that's really good. So those were the 3 that I picked up from First Chapter Bookshop, and I did also, again, like I said, in there get some little stickers. This is the only one I know where I put at the moment, which was the little 4th winged dragons, but again, really cute. Not too many more to go really now. We then headed into the city that day, had some lunch, really yummy, and headed to Dimmicks. The next thing I picked up wasn't a book. I had seen Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, I think, with this, and when I saw it at Dimmicks, I just thought, that's really cool. I kind of want it myself, being in love with cats as much as I am, and that is the Cats Rule the Earth tarot deck. So this is really cool. So this is the tarot deck and a guide. So it actually opens like a book, and then you've got the guide inside, plus this really cool tarot deck. I'm not a huge tarot person, and I know, but there was a tarot readathon that was happening last month, so maybe next year, now that I have a tarot deck, I might compete and do that. But all the cards are just these really cute cats, and all different cats, and I just thought they looked really cool, and I wanted some. And then the backs are all the same on each one, but now I've got a tarot deck. If I ever wanted to, I could read the book and have a go and use it to do prompts. If a tarot readathon is on again next year, I wouldn't mind possibly giving that one a go. But I just thought, why not? It's cute and I'll have it around. I then picked up a couple more things. The next thing, I had a look at through their special editions, and I found the Prince Without Sorrow, which was just a gorgeous edition. And so I thought I wouldn't mind adding that to my collection of sprayed edge editions. The hardback on this one is just plain, but it does have a very nice coloured map on the end papers, which was really nice. And I think it's going to look really good up with my other special editions. I still am planning on filming a rearrangement in here of the shelves, which will be coming up in the next couple of weeks as I tidy some of the stuff away after my redesign. So this one says on the inside, a prince born into violence. Prince Ashoka is considered an outcast for opposing the father emperor Adilmuru's brutal destruction of the Mayakari witches. A witch seeking revenge. Shakti vows retribution for the murder of her aunt and the annihilation of her village at the hands of the Emperor, even though she is bound by the Makaraki pacifist code. A curse that will change the world. In her anger, Shakti casts a violent curse, the consequences of which will leave both her and Ashoka grappling for power. Do they take it and risk becoming what they most hate, or do they risk losing power completely as the world around them is destroyed? I'm hoping that will be a really good story. I have seen some other people with, I think it was Illumicrate editions of this maybe, which I thought were quite nice. I quite like the blue though and the sprayed edges, so I think that was a good one to add to my collection. I then picked up another book I've heard a lot about and I'm very eager to get to, and that is Daniel L. Jensen's The Bridge Kingdom. So this is the first in the first duology of that series, I think. I think there's at least 5 books out, with the 6th coming later this year, possibly. For those who don't know what this one is about, it says, what if you fall in love with the one you are sent to destroy? Raised as a warrior, Princess Lara knows 2 things. King Aaron of the Bridge Kingdom is her enemy, and she must be the one to bring him to his knees. The Bridge Kingdom is the only route through a storm-ravaged world, and it uses its power to deprive its enemies, including Lara's homeland. When she's sent to be King Aaron's bride, Lara will do whatever it takes to bring down the kingdom's defenses, even if it means seducing her new husband. Yet as she learns more about the war to possess the bridge, Lara's feelings for Aaron transform from hostility to passion, and she faces a terrible dilemma: which kingdom to save and which to destroy. I've heard so many good things about this. I am super eager to get to this one, and I'm really hoping it comes up at some point soon in my game, or I might just have to add it in as a sneaky side. On that trip, I found 3 more books that I added to my collection. The first being Firebor by Rosaria Munda. I've heard a fair bit about this, and I didn't realize it actually was going to have a blue cover. All of the covers that I've seen have been red, so it threw me a bit, and I had to do a double check to make sure it was the same book. I've heard this one is really good if you liked Fourth Wing and those kind of books. This one says, the revolution brought them together, will rivalry tear them apart. The Dragon Lords and the resurrections of the old order are gone. Under the new rules, friends Annie and Lee, born on opposite sides of society but raised in the same orphanage, both have a chance to lead the city's legendary dragon riders. But when survivors of the old regime threaten to unleash civil war once again, Annie and Lee each face a difficult choice. Will their friendship survive when their loyalties are divided? This is the first book in the enthralling The Aurelian Cycle series. I'm really hoping that this one is going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to getting to that one. Next up, I looked around in the YA collection a bit and came across this one. This one has been out for a while. This originally came out in 2017, I think it was, and I'd never heard of it. So it's super chunky, but it sounds really good. And that is The Black Witch. This is by Laurie Forrest. This is the first in a series. And this one says, the great winged one will soon arise and cast his fearsome shadow upon the land. And just as night slays day and the day slays night, so also shall another black witch rise to meet him, her powers vast beyond imagining. So foretells the greatest prophecy of the Gardnerian mages. Carnissa Gardner, the last prophesied black witch, drove back the enemy forces and faced her people during the Realm War. Now a new evil is on the horizon, and her granddaughter Eleron is believed to be Carnissa's heir. But while she is the absolute image of her famous grandmother, Eleron is utterly devoid of power in a society that prizes magical ability above nearly all else. When she is granted the opportunity to pursue her lifelong dream of becoming an apothecary, Eleron is eager to join her brothers at the prestigious Verpax University and finally embrace the destiny of her own, free from the shadow of her grandmother's legacy. But she soon realizes that the university, which admits all manner of people, including the fire-wielding Blackrolls, the sworn enemies of all Garderians, it's even more treacherous place for a granddaughter of the Black Witch. I'm hoping it's really good. I think there was like at least 5 books in this series, and I've never again tried Laurie Forrest before, so I was really eager to pick up new authors that I didn't know much about and give them a go. So again, this one's been added into my TBR game. The last book that I picked up on this shopping trip was this one here, and that is The Bride of the Shadow King by Sylvia Mercedes. And again, this is book 1 in a series, and I really like the look of the other 2 books on the back. They look so pretty with the colours. I think if I get those, they're going to look great. So this one says, a shunned princess, a reluctant king, a marriage that could save both their kingdoms but destroy their hearts. Though she is the eldest daughter, Princess Farrain lives in the background, shunned from court and kept out of sight. Her chronic illness makes her a liability to the crown, and she has learned to give place to her beautiful, favoured younger sister in all things. When the handsome and enigmatic Shadow King comes seeking a bride, Farrain is not surprised that her sister is his choice. Though not eager to take a human bride, King Vor is willing to do what is necessary for the sake of his people. When he meets the lively Princess Ilsevel, he quickly agrees to the marriage arrangement. So why can't he get the haunting eyes of her older sister out of his head? This one is going to work really well for Herked if I can get to this one this year, because of the chronic illness of the main character. The disability prompt, that's going to work really well. So I'm really eager to get to that one. This video is probably going way longer now than I originally intended it to. There were a couple more little shopping mini sprees that I did. One was only 3 books and the other one was only 3 books too. So we've only got 6 left to go through. So I did do a couple of purchases on Amazon, and I picked up The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. I've been really eager to get to this one. I've had it on my want to read list and borrowed it from the library a couple of times, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy the paperback, and if I like it, get the rest after that. So this one says, true love might be the death of them. Hart Ralston is a marshal tasked with patrolling the strange and magical wilds of Tanria. It's an unforgiving job, and he's got nothing but time to ponder his loneliness. Mercy Birdsall never has a moment to herself. She's been single-handedly keeping Birdsall and Son undertakers afloat in defiance of the sullen jerks like Heartache Hart, the man with the knack for showing up right when her patience is thinnest. After yet another run-in with the merciless Mercy, Hart finds himself penning a letter addressed simply to a friend. Much to his surprise, he receives an anonymous letter in return, and a tentative friendship is born. Little does Hart know he's bearing his soul to the person that infuriates him the most. So I think it's very similar to like You've Got Mail or that kind of stuff, but with undertakers and marshals. So I have heard really good things about it. I think I first heard about this book from Becca in the Books, and she really enjoyed it, and I'm hoping I do too. It sounded like a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. The other 2 books that I picked up, I do technically have special editions coming of these, but wanted to get to them sooner than that, and I really enjoyed the other book by this author that I read recently, and I heard these ones are even better. So those are One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and then its sequel, Two Twisted Crowns. So this one is just a duology. This one has been out for a while, and I have heard a lot of praise, and again, really eager to get to this. It is on my 25 series in 2025, so I'm hoping to get to this sooner rather than later. I'll only read you the beginning of the first one because I don't want to spoil anything for myself or you. And this one says, Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, she is thrust into a world of shadow and deception. Together they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of Blunder from the dark magic infecting it. As the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. It sounds really good. Like I said, super eager to get to these, and glad I have a couple of copies that I can read before my special editions come. And then they're just going to look so pretty on my shelf, and they can sit up here maybe with The Night and the Moth. The last little bit of shopping I did on the very last day of July, which was the 31st, we had book club down at the suburb of Glenelg, and right near there is another Dimmicks. So I convinced a couple of my friends to go down. I did pick up a puzzle as well as these. So they have like a sale section upstairs, and these were like $10 each. And I picked up the third in a series, so Master of Furies by Romany Feist. I do own a lot of Romany Feist, though nothing so far in this series, and this one was just out so cheap that I just thought I'll grab that. I'm not going to read you the synopsis for this one, being the third in a series, so if you are interested, feel free to check that one out on Goodreads. The other one I picked up again is a third in a series, so again, we're not going to be reading the synopsis of this one, and this is the third in the High Mountain Court series, and it's called The Rogue Crown by A.K. Mulford. I own the first one of these on ebook, and again, it was just so cheap that I just thought I will pick this one up, and then if I do like the series, I will buy the rest of those. So happy to add those two in. The best book I think I found that day had literally just gone on the shelf, and it's an extremely new edition, and I really liked the way that this copy looked, and that is Silvercloak by L.K. Stephen. I don't know that the full effect of the cover is going to come out, but it kind of shimmers, and then it has this background, and this one just comes with pretty red sprayed edges, and again the back has kind of a shimmery back, and then we have a naked hardcover that just looked really stunning, and then a really pretty color map on the inside covers. This one has only just come out, so I am eager to get to this one and possibly use it in Hercad for my new release challenge. I've got to keep up with new releases. I'm currently reading a new release now, and I thought this one would be really good to get to. And it's literally, it was on the shelf that afternoon and I saw it. I think there was only like a couple of these copies left, so really happy to get one. This one says, an addictive new fantasy series set in a world where magic is fueled by pleasure and pain, in which an obsessive detective infiltrates a brutal gang of dark mages, knowing that one wrong move will get her killed. 2 decades ago, the Blood Moons ruthlessly murdered Saffron's parents, destroying her idyllic childhood. Hell-bent on revenge, she lied her way into elite Silvercloak Academy of Detectives with a single goal: find a way to bring the Blood Moons to justice. But on the eve of her graduation, her deception is exposed, and she's given only one option: to go undercover and tear the Blood Moons down from the inside. Descending into a world where pleasure and pain is the most powerful currencies, Saf must commit some truly heinous deeds to keep her cover and her life. Not only are there rival gangs and sinister smuggling rings to contend with, there's also the growing feelings for the Kingpin's tortured son and a curious prophecy foretelling his death at Saf's hands. With each day testing her loyalties further, Saf's web of lies becomes harder to spin. And when one false step could destroy everything and everyone she's ever loved, the mage who dedicated her life to vengeance might just have to die for it. Sounds really good. Again, I've never tried L.K. Stephen, so another new author for me. It seems to be a running theme for this video, but really looking forward to getting to this one as well. I just did a bit of a count, so overall that is 20 new books that I have added in July, and I'm really eager to get to all of them. A couple I am already going to be getting to sooner rather than later, so I'm really looking forward to that. What did you purchase in July? I'd love to know. Have you read any of these books? Let me know what you thought. I'm sure that a fair few of you will have at least read Six of Crows, because that has been out for ages, and the same with One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, and The Black Witch has been out for ages as well. So let me know what you thought about any of these. I really am looking forward to all of them. Thanks so much for watching. I can't believe now there are over 200 of you. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much for those who have decided to subscribe. It means the world to me that this channel is growing, and that I'm having so much fun just discussing bookish things with everyone in the comments and interacting with you all. Thank you so much. If you would like to subscribe, if you haven't already, I do release a video once a week, so please feel free to hit that button down below. Leave me any comments if you have them. I would love to know about all your reads so that I can add as many new books to my want to read list as possible. If you would like to, I have linked down below as well my Goodreads, my Instagram, and my Storygraph. Feel free to come over and follow me on any of those. I would love to have you on board on everything so we can just talk more bookish books and get more recommendations. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that wherever you are having a really wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Bye.